Man, forget identity politics, forget social justice warriors, forget virtual signaling. I'm gonna give you the #1 reason why the Democrats are gonna have a very, very difficult time beating Trump in 2020. And it's not what you think. And we're starting right now. Hi, I'm Kyle, and welcome to my channel where we take culture, TV, and movies, and we filter it right. Today, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the election of 2020 and how difficult it's going to be for Democrats to overtake and beat President Trump. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting like and subscribe and sharing with your friends. As a former campaign manager myself, I understand what it takes to hone in on a message, target your audience, and remove people who are not going to vote for you anyway. What the Democrats failed to realize in this particular election, that there's a key element that they're going to have to overcome to beat Trump, and it has nothing to do with what they're doing now. I'm going to talk to you about that, but let's first talk about what the Democrats themselves are doing. Right now, it seems that the Democrats are focusing solely on a couple things. Identity politics, which is typical for them, but also trying to undermine President Trump's credibility from an administration standpoint, mainly with the Mueller investigation. Now, the Mueller investigation is nothing more than a bleed over from the 2016 defeat, which they're still trying to cope with. So you have some people who actually believe it, and some people who just want to believe something because they can't deal with the fact that their candidate lost in 2016. Now, leaving that aside, getting back to the policies that they go for. Now, they have issues now because they hate Trump so much that they've gone so far away from who they are as Democrats. Ironically, this is what got them the defeat in 16 because they went so far to the left that the people within their own party who were moderates felt disenfranchised. You had these blue-collar Democrats who had been there for many years. They work in the unions. They just identified with Democrats because they felt that that was the party of the little man. But the fact is they ended up going so far to the left and alienating them by putting illegal immigrants and other groups and other issues above their own, especially when it comes to their pocketbook. They didn't appreciate the fact that the immigration policies and the tariff policies and the trade policies have alienated and gutted out middle America. And therefore, when Trump came by and said, hey, you know what, let's fix this, that message immediately resonated with those people. And when they couldn't get a leg up on the other side because they were told that they were racist because they were being white, that's the problem with identity politics. When you target one group of people and say that you're being oppressed because this group of people oppressed you, well, that's good for this group, but it's not good for the group that you had in your wheelhouse before. And that's the same group of people that Trump was targeting by saying issues they actually cared about. And this is a key thing that's happened all throughout politics. And I mentioned this a little bit in some other videos, but I won't comment on that here. But it's really interesting how campaigns work because it's the same thing. People vote for what they care for. And people care to feed their families. People care to maybe upgrade their roof on their house. They want to eat at nice restaurants every now and then. They want to send their kids to college. You know, these economic things are something people actually care about. That goes across the board. And that's the group of people that both parties, Republican and Democrat, both go for. You have people on either side, 20% here, 20% here, and then you have that 60% right in the middle that people are going to be voting one way or the other. And so that's the fighting ground. That's the battleground that the Democrats are going to have a hard time going for because they've alienated so many of those people in the middle. And so here's the crux though. All this being said, nothing I say here is new, but the one core reason, and this is it, why the Democrats are going to have a hard time beating Trump in 2020 is this. And the reason I'm going to give you right now has much less to do about Trump, but it has to do about any campaign that will ever be run when you have an incumbent and a challenger. With Trump being the incumbent, he has the advantage because he's already won. He's already convinced enough people that he is the one they want. That's it. Seems simple, right? Well, it is. And for the challenger, it's very difficult. That's why it's called a challenger. The challenger has to convince those same people who at one point said, I like this person, to convince them that you were wrong. You were wrong for voting for him. Now you need to vote for me. And that is the number one reason why the Democrats are going to have a very difficult time beating Trump this election cycle. Moreover, Trump has done what he said he was going to do, making it even more difficult for them to do that. It's going to be even harder for them to lie about it. So because they can't lie about it, because we have the internet and we have YouTube, we have, Google, and those things aren't going to go anywhere, they have to misinform, and they have to further their identity politics, or they have to cheat. I won't talk about the cheating, but that is an issue to deal with as well. But dealing with just the going further to the identity politics, they have to get more people to buy into them, and by saying more crazy things, and hopefully these people are not going to look into it any further, they're just going to take them for the word. And so you have the entire mainstream media pushing it as well. So not only do you have the Democrats and leftists, but you also have all the mainstream media outlets doing the same thing, hoping to bombard. You have Facebook banning people. You have Twitter banning people. You have YouTube demonetizing. You have all this stuff going on as an effort to get more and more people to stay on board. Just stay with us one more time so we can get him over the top. But the problem is truth tends to prevail regardless of what we're dealing with. So, but that's why, okay? So, and to be fair and in contrast, for Trump to lose would be for him to go back on something that he said he wasn't going to do. It could be just one major thing, or one even remotely small thing that most people actually care about. Like if he had gone back on immigration on a significant stance, or if he had gone back on, pulling back some of the tariffs, or if he had gone back on, not going into TPP or renegotiating NAFTA or things like that. But he's done all that, and he's done more. So that's why it's ramping up so much more on the left, so they can try and hopefully get him to a point where they can discredit him. Because ultimately, when it comes to the primary, they're going to have all this stuff going on, but at some point after that primary, they're going to have to come and coalesce around one message. And I'm afraid to say, for them, they're not going to have anything. And so with that, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like the content on this channel where we take culture, TV, and movies, and we filter it right, please hit that like and subscribe button, that bell icon, so you don't miss any future content, and share with your friends. And also, please check out some videos we have right here.